This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One, Australia's only naked from the waist down Formula One podcast. As they say in Podcasting 101 manual, it's not a real podcast unless you're prepared to go pantsless. And this is the Little Aussie Battlers award-winning podcast that isn't afraid to swing it about and get some air circulating around the plums. We're the podcast for the little guy or girl that's had to work hard for everything. They've never had a chance, never had a free swing, never had the break they deserved. This is the podcast that the Oxenford Tribune said, and I quote, what a great local paper.
You've definitely enunciated that to make it sound fancy.
It's very wonderful. The readership, 35 people on the Oxenford.
34 of those can't read.
Can't read. Very well-informed people, those 35 that do subscribe to the Oxenford Tribune, said, and I quote, of this very podcast, Luke, is the perfect balance of poor taste, inappropriate behaviour, and unwanted sexual advances.
That gets around.
Thank you. It's a big rap. A big rap from a quality local rag, and a big shout-out down at the Oxenford Tribune to Joyce.
Thanks, Joyce.
Joyce, the editor, over 45 years of the Oxenford Tribune. Congratulations, Joyce. And while we're at it, a big congrats for winning Best Pumpkin Scone at this year's Murwillumbah show.
She travelled far to win that.
And it's tough competition, Luke. We were there. We tasted the competition.
A lot of the competition down there was filled with marijuana down in Murwillumbah.
Yes, they had a little hint of it. That's why it tasted so good, and why we forgot about the whole day. We didn't remember being on the teacup ride.
You saw through time.
We were riding ponies in the child petting zoo. We're not allowed to be touching ponies.
You were petting very hard.
Yep.
With both hands.
Yes.
And your pants down.
And we ended up actually riding those ponies into the...
Into Byron Bay.
Well, yes, that after we entered the ponies
We
into
entered
the dressage competition.
Oh, yes.
And we were sitting on ponies, and the rest of the horses were, 20 hands high in horse measurement.
We limboed under every obstacle in that equestrian dressage.
We certainly did, Luke. We made... funny that we actually came third and fourth, respectively, in our category.
Out of 3. I don't know how we came fourth, but...
Well, you came fourth.
Well, I had to pick the pony up at one point and start to do the thing myself because he got tired.
That's true. You were carrying the pony at the
So I
end.
kind of spooned him and lifted him up with his arms and... Yeah. He didn't fight much because he had nothing in him.
No.
We'd ridden a long way.
It'd been a big day. It was a big day for us.
Yeah,
big
then
day for the pony.
Then I gave him one of those scones and he was...
Gobbled it, and then he got the munchies.
He was
out.
dancing and jigging.
Yeah, he was out for the count. What were those? But the scones. Going back to the scones. Joyce, congratulations on that big win.
Thanks for the write-up, Joyce.
Thank you very much for that. For the Oxenford Tribune.
No relation to Jiggling June.
I think we've got Jiggling June on the podcast.
Joyce could jiggle, though.
Joyce is a jiggler. Joyce is definitely a jiggler.
That's how you're going to refer to a fat person now. That's a jiggler.
Right down to her knees, those breasts. Right down to the knees. By the way, congratulations. If you have made it this far into this podcast, if you're joining us for the first time, you are in select company. 90% of listeners have never made it this far. What are we, 2 minutes in?
Yeah.
2.5?
Yep, about that.
Congratulations to you if you're still here. And now, we can't promise you that you'll learn anything or even be entertained, but rest assured, this mildly amusing Formula One podcast is the podcast you've been searching for. So, we'd like you to get comfortable, pop your feet up, sit down, and shut the hell up! Two slightly overweight middle-aged Aussie blokes are talking Formula One. What an intro.
It was.
Wasn't it? Did we get sidetracked?
Yeah.
Murwillumbah, the memories at the show.
Yep. Speaking of
Yep.
nipple photography,
Yes, Luke.
my mum sent me a photo of her belly button.
Oh.
She said, I think I got some weird bit of lint in there, and if you could just see the corner of the photo, you can see a bit of a nipple.
Oh, God.
So I forward that on to you
Thanks, mate.
without explanation.
Lovely.
You're welcome.
Your
And that's-
mother is a lovely lady.
Hi,
and
Mum.
She's got all the best bits in the right places. Your mum still got it. She's still got it.
You do like women with the National Geographic saggy titties.
I don't mind them. I don't mind creases. I don't mind
Folds.
weird folds. Perfectly happy with that. How are you, Luke?
I'm all right.
Good news. This podcast. I don't know if this is the time. Suffice to say, we are punching way above our weight category.
Why do you
Luke.
say that? How can you proclaim these
Because,
things?
Luke, how about this for a lineup? Have a guess who you think might be joining us on this little Aussie F1 podcast.
Max Verstappen.
No, thank God. I hate that guy.
Charles Leclerc.
Nope. Entitled douchebag. Who else?
Gunther Steiner.
Nope. Although that would be good. Colourful. No?
I'm sure we could get him on.
Surely.
We've got some incriminating photos we could... But I don't think he cares if they get out.
I don't think. Look, if we can't get him on, and yet we can get Sebastian Vettel,
Oh, yeah.
who's on this podcast, four-time world champion, on this podcast tonight.
Yep.
Toto Wolff, he's on this podcast. We've got Robert Kubica
Our hand in the paddock.
and the big draw card for this week, Luke. Dan Ricciardo
Daniel, the personality Ricardo.
is on this Aussie podcast.
Now, he's not on hold yet.
No.
We thought we'd call him later on.
Yep.
See if he's free.
Yes, he's free, and he is
He's made time for us.
making time for us. And we thank Dan Ricciardo for joining us. Not that he's here yet, but we'll be speaking to him in just moments. Don't go anywhere. We're about to have Dan Ricciardo on the podcast. This has been like a mid-sell, hasn't it, Luke?
It is, but straight up top.
It's a top sell.
Top sell.
We got ourselves a top sell, folks. Very big podcast for the Mexico wrap and the Brazilian GP preview. It's a 2-in-1, mouth-watering podcast.
And it's free.
And it's free. Absolutely free. No advertising free. Downloadable free. And proudly brought to you by the Effing One charity. Hand jobs for the homeless. Because why should the homeless miss out on a free wristy?
They shouldn't.
They
and
shouldn't.
they don't.
No,
Not
they
with
don't.
this podcast.
No, indeed. It's a wonderful charity.
It's what Pete does every weekend now. It's very nice. He gets down there on a Friday, Saturday, gets his hands. He comes back with calluses and
Why do you think his
weird
forearms
sores.
are so bloody massive?
it's not because he lifts weights.
He's a world record beater.
He ain't in
is.
the crake.
He can beat like no one else I've ever seen. He can get through 10 homeless dudes in a minute. Not only, I mean, you've also got to
He
be...
gets them edging. He tells them to edge beforehand when he made that record. He's like, don't just warm yourselves up, fellas. I'll give you the...
Yes.
Yeah, it's not from scratch.
No. He does some sexy talk.
There's some block pipes in there.
Yeah. He does a lot of sexy talk. He does a lot of technique. That
He gives them the
you've-
look too.
The look, the eye contact. Some techniques you don't normally find outside of a Phuket brothel.
And he mouths the words, I love you.
And for any homeless person, that is
Music to their ears. Music to their loins.
Oh, and by the way, Luke, this podcast, not only advertising free, but it comes with a puke free
Oh.
guarantee.
Now,
That's-
what kind of guarantee is this?
Luke, if you find anything that's unsavory, unpalatable in the next hour or so, we personally guarantee if you vomit, wherever you may be situated listening to this podcast, anywhere around the world, Luke, give us some names where people are listening right now.
Right now,
Yeah.
the United States of America,
That's a place.
Spain,
Spain.
Italy,
Yep.
Portugal, Singapore,
Yep.
Malaysia,
Obviously.
New Zealand,
You sure did.
heaps of other places.
Yep.
Reunion Islands,
If you're in the Reunion Islands, and for
great
some
place
reason,
to visit.
wouldn't you love to get there and
It's not from food poisoning.
No.
It's not from those Icelandic jerks that
No.
keep choking on dick.
no, no. But if you feel like you need to puke, if you hear something unsavory in the next hour, Luke and I personally, we're fully vaccinated. We have the tickets ready. We will come over and clean up that puke that you have just emptied on your shirt.
On yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll get there before me.
That's the puke-free
I may be a few days late.
guarantee. If you chunder, there's a word that's not used enough. There's a word that's been lost to the English vocab.
Well,
Chunder.
the Americans really wouldn't know what a chunder is, would they?
Chunder. I don't believe they would.
Explain what a chunder
It's an
is.
Australianism, Luke. It was born in the 60s and the 70s. Chunder it's a vomit. It's a vomit, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
big bath.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we should figure out what the history of the word what does it come from, chunder?
Oh,
Any idea?
I'll find out for you.
Okay. No, if you wouldn't mind, because I'd love to know where we coined that phrase, chunder. But anyway, it's a ripper, and I think we should bring it. I think we should try to work it into every podcast if we should, and try to get people to use it again. It's just one of those words that I don't know, just speaks volumes.
1950s.
1950s.
Probably from rhyming slang, Chundaloo Spew, from the name of a cartoon character, Chundaloo of Akim Fu, who appeared in advertisements for Cobra boot polish in the Sydney Bulletin in the early 20th century.
What? From Cobra boot polish.
Yep. Chundaloo Spew.
Chundaloo
The name of the character, Chundaloo of Akim Fu.
There you go.
This is very, is Cobra boot polish just making up characters left, right, and centre?
Wow, they must have had some animated advertising campaign, and
Maybe vomited a lot on shoes.
yeah.
And yes, all right, the boot polish saved it all.
Wow.
I don't know.
And you don't normally learn anything on this podcast when you listen to this podcast, do you, Luke? But this has got to be one of the first times you could actually learn something. I feel like I've learned something today.
I know.
There you go. Chunder. Try to use it. Try to squeeze it in whatever you're doing around the world.
Urban Dictionary says chunder means to be sick. It originates from old seafaring days when the sailors would get seasick and stick their head out the portholes in their cabin. As they did, they would shout, "Watch under!" to warn people of lower cabins of the forthcoming puke. Over the years, this has evolved into chunder.
Wow. It doesn't seem unanimous with the origins of the phrase, does it? Looks like we've got the boot polish, or it's seafarers. It's a bit
So
like
it's either going to go with Wikipedia
who do you believe, Luke?
or Urban Dictionary.
That's why it's so hard to believe science these days, Luke. There's so much information. We just don't know where to get our info from. It's like...
I like the boat one.
Me too. Yeah, it's better than the boot polish.
Fuck you, Cobra boot polish.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Watch under.
It's a bit like New Zealand claiming the pavlova and Australia claiming the... Who do you believe? The pavlova.
It's lies.
Delicious. What a podcast, Luke. Oh, absolutely massive. Huge names.
New Zealand just got the internet.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that when they think they've claimed something, someone's already been over there cooking the shit. And when they actually find out, it's a lot later.
Yeah.
And they think they've invented something.
Unlikely, Luke.
They thought they invented the light bulb because they bought it from Woolies.
Yeah. Fair enough, Luke. Fair enough. You're in good form. I hope we're going to hear a Luke's rant at some stage.
I'll see if I've got the energy for it.
Something to rant about tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when you take your gloves off,
Take my spinach.
pull your pants down, take your gloves off, and just rip into it. Speaking of which, we've got some awards to hand out, Luke,
Oh, yeah?
for the Mexico GP. And wow, hasn't Pete been busy?
He has.
Wow, what do we got here? That's mahogany. He has found some mahogany from another kindergarten,
Yep.
because he's finding some beautiful timber from kindergartens around the Gold Coast, stealing it under cover of darkness. And
If you're a kindy and you've lost a lot of wood, shut up.
Yep, shut up, because we're making some pretty nicely whittled awards here.
You can have the wood back, but it will be in the form of these awards.
That's correct. And we have some beautiful awards that Peter's been whittled. When he's not knocking off the homeless, he is knocking out some beautiful whittle trophies. Well, here's the first one. We've got the the Green Award, Luke. The Green
Green
Award for the Mexico GP. Who won the Environmental Footprint Award?
Well, he took two birds out of one stone, and he had nothing to do with it. But we're giving the Green Award to Esteban Ocon for taking out both Swery Tsunoda and Junior Schumacher in the second corner of the race.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Impressive.
Got Tsunoda airborne. Schumacher got a little bit airborne as well. Broke his rear suspension. Fucked up Tsunoda as well.
Mm-hmm.
He kept going on. Took out two. Saved their fuel. Well done.
Congratulations. Well done. Next award in Oak. Ooh, look at that. That's lovely.
It's weighty.
It's very weighty. This is the Yuji Ide Award, Luke, for wasting everyone's time.
Now, one man who particularly wasted my time,
Yeah.
but he also wasted the time of another driver. And that was Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Now, I got up at stupid o'clock to watch this race, and by turn one, I regretted that decision not to sleep. Daniel Ricciardo whacked into the back of Valtteri Bottas Bottas,
Yep.
and then he just got in front of Bottas after the safety car restart and kept him behind for the whole race.
Oh, gee.
Now, it was quite a dull Mexican Grand Prix,
Yeah.
and
It was over. After the first turn, it was over.
really didn't have the energy, and I didn't want to I stayed up, but I didn't want to, because I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Yep.
Wasting my time, Daniel.
Oh, it's so frustrating when you spend that much. You
Invest that time.
You invest the time. You're losing out on sleep. You know the next day is going to be fucked
Yep.
because you haven't had enough sleep.
Been watching, watch the preview of the Grand Prix, you're edging. You're just thumbing under the head,
Yeah.
just getting yourself a little bit warm and moist, getting ready for the start.
Yes.
And then you just deflate it after that. You
deflate
just look at it sadly and go, this is pathetic.
Your semi turns into just a limp, flaccid piece of meat. It's a shame, Luke. But that's the kind of dedication that we have on this podcast, Luke. We just turn up regardless of whether or not anyone's going to listen to this podcast,
Yep.
regardless of whether or not anyone's going to download it. We still do it because that's what we do.
I may as well not have a memory card in that thing.
I don't think we have it. We're not even recording.
No.
We're just doing it for the sake of it. Because we love to do it for the fans.
Yep. For Mum.
For Mum. For Luke's mum. Our fan. The Pastor Maldonado Award, Luke, for dangerous driving. Who won that award?
Pastor Maldonado Award. It goes to the same man, Daniel Ricciardo. Danny Boy, for not only just his admiration of the bare ass of Bottas, but his sideway drift on Daddy Boy Stroll to keep him off the track.
Yeah.
And he went underneath him and then just pushed him wide, drifted a little bit, and Stroll had no chance of making that corner.
No. Lickett and Send It Award. Here it is, Lucas. There it is. For the overtaking move of the race.
There was a lot of overtaking manoeuvres in the start of the race. There wasn't much for the rest of the race. Latifi on Esteban Ocon. I'm giving it to that one.
Yep.
Ocon went around him at turn 1, and then I believe it was turn 1, and then in turn 2, Latifi just stuck it under, barged him out of the way, and kept going. And so congratulations, Nicholas Latifi, on your move on Esteban Ocon.
Well done, Queef. Well done, Queefy. The F1 Podcast Award for making Formula One great. Who made Formula One great in the Mexico GP?
Well, basically Mexico.
Yeah.
And the stadium section.
Colourful
Such
people.
a good little amphitheatre
Yep.
of Mexicans.
So, just love Mexicans.
They do.
They brighten everything up, don't they, Mexicans?
So much enthusiasm.
The salsa.
And then Sergio got on the podium. That made it even more mental there.
Yep. Guacamole.
One of the tips this week, one of the extreme tips for last week's Mexican Grand Prix, was that the baseball stadium was double booked. So they'd have to play baseball around the F1, which I thought was very inventive and a very good idea.
That's
Unfortunately,
great.
no one turned up with a baseball bat.
Yeah, wow. There you go.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, that would have been fun. What a great race. What a great race. I mean, the
A great
race wasn't-
place for a race.
A great place. Sorry, that particular race.
the atmosphere.
was rubbish, but yeah, what a play. I mean, isn't it great to have crowds back?
Can't
what
win
a
them all.
difference.
It is.
It looks so different with crowds.
I like it.
Yes, it's different. It's better.
We need a crowd.
This podcast alive.
I know we'd get a crowd in Nerang.
Well, what we should think about doing, Luke, is for the next podcast, book out the Nerang RSL club and
Record
have
it
us
there.
on stage. Boot out the normal guys on a Saturday night. I think it's June and Jet, the June and Jet Beatles show. Get rid of the June and Jet Beatles show.
They're not very good.
They're not as good as they used to
But
be.
hearing's not good in Nerang, so they think they're good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of old, crumbly people clapping along.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but their version of Hey Jude, I'm sorry. It just doesn't do it for me anymore.
Jiggling Jude.
Yeah, now, Jiggling June, she features on a, was it a Thursday night, Jiggling June?
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
When she comes out and she juggles topless. That's a show.
Not with balls, with herself.
Yep. With her
Very
own-
hard. She has to get
Yeah.
rise in the prize, or that thing will hit the ground.
Now, she's a performer. We should book ourselves in for a Saturday night
Could we open for her?
podcast. Do you reckon we get heckled by, well, there's only, 3 people at the bar.
We could certainly try.
Have you got some quick comebacks for when they... give
Oh,
us-
fucking oath I do.
Yeah. Good.
I don't come to your work and knock the sailors' cocks out your mouth.
Yeah, perfect. Keep that one. We're going to need that. Because those guys in the Nerang, those old boys that sit there, they've been there they're there every night, are always pissed. They're ruthless.
Like, you're from Nerang.
Yeah. Just
You're in Nerang.
piped. I hope you're going to...
Everything will just be that.
As long as you're going to be on fire, because I get a bit, in your mouth, you get a bit
Oh,
clammy
no.
and I
love
can't
it.
talk. I don't like confrontation, Luke.
I love a comeback.
Good.
And if you want my comeback, you'll have to scrape it off my mum's teeth.
Perfect, Luke. This is genius. Don't waste it all now. Hang on to those, because this next podcast will be the live from the RSL club in Nerang. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a big, the applause, the atmosphere, the cheering.
I don't know if there'll be much applause. I think we might need to wear some kind of headgear to protect ourselves from
It might
throwing
be one
bottles.
might be one of these.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for coming out, Mum.
Thanks, Mrs. Luke.
You better get home now.
Yeah. Do a mic drop. Just
Yeah.
walk off.
Yeah, after 5 minutes. This is unsafe. Fuck you. And drop and walk out.
Oh, can't wait for next week. Oh, RSL. Watch out in the ring. Watch out RSL club.
We'll book it out.
Yeah, then barefoot bowls straight after. Mm-hmm. Yeah, barefoot. If you do turn up, we will pay for your barefoot bowls.
Yeah, we will.
Have to incentivise this, won't
Yeah.
we? Going to be make it.
Adam will
worth it.
sign some autographs.
I'll be signing autographs over by the pokies.
I've got a stamp.
You'll be you'll be by the Bay Marie.
Drooling over the steamed broccoli. No one ever eats it in Nerang, so it's always sitting there,
And the pork,
sweaty.
the crackling, that's delicious. Have you tried that?
I haven't. I've still got my teeth, so that's why.
So lovely food options down there. Must check it out. The
They do a good
Nerang.
roast potato.
great roast potato, the Nerang.
That's all they're
RSL.
known for. Their roast potato,
Very crunchy. How do they get it so crunchy?
lard.
Yeah, pure animal fat. Speaking of which, the speckled lovely animal. How about this one? In honour of Speckled Jim, FE1 Podcast's most wonderful mascot that we lost tragically. Speckled Jim Award, Luke. Who won that one? The 3-2-1. Your votes.
3-2-1 votes for the Speckled Jim medal. 3 votes goes to Pierre Gasly, just because he's outperforming a lot of people. Clearly.
Yep.
And giving it to 2 points to Kimi Räikkönen for a team that's pretty shit.
Yep.
He drove an excellent race, got himself up there into the points. And the last one, the hometown hero, Sergio Perez.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Tijuana Tussler.
Love him. Absolutely love him. What about the billionaire boys? The what do we call the Billionaires Cup?
The Caviar
The
Cup.
Caviar Cup. Sorry, Luke.
That's all right.
Who won that? The Battle of the Billionaires. Of course, in Formula One, there are many teams where very rich billionaires buy teams for their sons to drive in.
So we got Latifi,
Latifi,
Mazepin,
Mazepin,
and Lance Stroll.
and Stroll. Who won out of those 3?
So only one driver finished ahead of his teammate, and thanks to Esteban Ocon for taking out Mick Schumacher, Nikita Me Too Mazepin has got himself a point towards the Caviar Cup.
Well done. Well done, the Russian rapist. Congratulations to you, Russian rapist.
Yep.
You've done something of note this year.
Yep.
And that's the awards,
No,
I
we've
do
got
believe.
two. Remember, we've still got two more. Two
We've
new
got
ones.
2 new ones.
We've got the Having a Crack Award.
Having a crack. Yep.
So you get a baggie of crack sent to you.
That's right. And that's for just generally having a crack?
Having a go.
Having a go.
And it's to Sebastian Vettel.
Yep.
The man has been having a crack every week, and we're going to recognise him. So congratulations, Sebastian Vettel. You got into the points, did a great job,
Yeah.
and for having a crack, here's your baggie of crack.
And no one likes a crack more than Sebastian Vettel.
Oh, God, no.
He just loves getting in there and
Deep
giving it a go.
in that crack.
Loves to get deep in there. And we are going to speak to it. We could ask him about that, actually. We're going to have him on the podcast
Yeah.
live. Sebastian Vettel is on this podcast,
right.
Luke. We can talk about it. Having a crack.
Yep.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to explain all the cracks he's been enjoying recently.
Oh, yep. He's got many.
He's not shy and coming
Got to
forward.
list up his arm.
Yep.
That's where it goes.
Yep.
And we've got one more award.
Another award?
Now, I've actually got an intro for this award.
Oh, brilliant. Up to the microphone.
Up to the mic.
Do
Are
it,
you
do it,
ready?
do it. Yeah, yeah.
You ready?
Yep. Oh,
The Your Shit
your shit award.
Award. And that goes to Nikita Mazepin again.
Yeah. That's good. No, there's nothing says shit like Mazepin.
Do I need to explain why?
What, the sound effect? Are you
No.
going to explain the sound effect? That's from a soccer match, yeah?
Yes.
That's what they do in Britain.
That's what they do in Australia as well.
Oh, do they?
Whenever the goalie is kicking the ball out,
Okay.
they go, oh, and as he kicks, he goes, your shit.
Okay, I didn't realise we did that here.
We did.
Okay. I need to watch more Australian soccer.
You don't need to.
No, you probably don't.
It's quite poor. But that was at a game in England. It was Fulham, I believe it was.
Right.
They were yelling out to the opposition goalie what they thought of him. But they will do that. So when a goalie kicks out, they go, oh, your shit.
Shit.
And it's Nikita Mazepin.
But of course, we should just that's a lock-in, isn't it? Every week.
Could
Your
be.
Shit are
Could
just
be.
a Mazepin award.
Maybe.
We'll just call it the Mazepin,
If someone else gets shit,
the Mazaspin.
then we'll put you up there. But right now, Nikita Mazepin has this locked down.
He's definitely shit, all right. The Russian rapist, still delusional, thinking he deserves to be in Formula One.
And that was the...
Your shit award. Thank you, Luke. Awesome. Love it. Bit of an ordinary GP though, the Mexico. I mean, as much as we love Mexico, the people, the colour, the food, what a shit Grand Prix.
Yep, first Verstappen, second Hamilton, third Perez, pole was from Bottas. So they went down to turn one. Bottas left the door wide open for Max Verstappen to take the lead of the race.
So what is the deal with Bottas? He's got his eyes on Hamilton, not
But
the
when
guy
you
from the
think
other
about
team.
where the grid is, you think, all right, if me and Lewis stay side by side
right,
from where Max is, we can box him in.
because we're teammates. We can work together.
We can just they could be staggered a little bit,
Yep.
and Lewis be a little bit behind Bottas.
Yep.
And they just stick to the left. Max has to go across the lanes where Perez is, Gasly is,
There-
where Daniel Ricciardo tried to have a dig. But no, he just left the door. He just drove straight past him.
There is no conceivable scenario where you've got a lockout. Your team have got the 1 and 2 spot. You're at the front. There's no scenario where you should be losing that place.
And the left-hand side is the traditional racing line going into that corner. So there's more rubber there.
Right.
So everyone going to the inside is going to be braking earlier and not going to be able to make the corner if they brake as late as what Max did. And Max knew that. He goes, as soon as I realised I got this position, he goes, I knew I could brake later than them and make the corner. So the move was done. Like
Bloody
the year, the
Bottas.
previous time they were there, which was Sebastian Vettel, just casually came across the road and Lewis
Right.
Hamilton had to lift off.
Right.
And it was Leclerc that had pole position, I believe.
Right.
And then it was Vettel who was second, who just came across and just blocked him off. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know how it happened.
How did they?
And I have a theory. Now, I'll save for later.
No. Okay.
No.
Fair
Save for
enough.
later.
Well, and plus, we are going to speak to Toto Wolff. So he would be another good person to get some perspective on that. complete fuck up at turn 1.
Yep. Sergio
Can't
Perez
wait.
got driver of the day. Fastest lap, Valtteri Bottas with a 1:17.774. And the fastest pit stop, back to Williams. They used to be great guns every fucking weekend, and then they took a bit of a hiatus, but they're back
Yep.
with a 2.17 pit stop. Well done, congratulations.
Very nice.
Do you want to talk to our hand in
we've
the
got
paddock?
we've got Robert Kubica on the show, Luke. The number one effing one podcast, number one COVID tester, and Formula One's number one COVID tester. What a bloke. He's in there right now in Brazil, getting his fist and fingers dirty, rolling his sleeve up, getting deep inside the COVID.
Now, can we explain why we call him the hand in the paddock?
Why do we call him the hand of the paddock? I've forgotten, Luke. Why do we call him the hand of the paddock?
Well, Robert Kubica had a rally incident that cut short
Oh, yeah, of course.
his Formula One career, and it heavily disfigured and made his arm disabled, pretty much.
Pretty much he's got one usable arm.
Yeah, and his other one's his gammy arm.
Yep.
Don't know if that's a technical term or it's a medical term.
Just sort of, just like a stick. This is like holding a
Like
branch.
a claw.
Like a claw.
Yeah.
Very much.
They can't really close.
Can't
I
do
think
anything.
2 fingers may work on his hand.
Yep.
And because he kind of pierced his rally car with into a guardrail. So
Yep.
the guardrail went straight through the middle of the car, fucked up his arm,
Yep.
and now it's kind of like a hideous claw.
Yes. They bring him out for Halloween only, pretty much.
Yep, and he uses that gammy arm to
Scare
Test.
the children. Scare children and test COVID.
test COVID for the drivers. He tests through the anus,
Yep.
finding the best results for upper respiratory infection in the anus.
Yep. It is the perfect shape for a COVID testing device. I mean, scientists have come up with other testing probes, but have not ever come to its equal
No.
of the
Yeah,
Robert
all those
Kubica.
recent, positive COVID tests, whether it was Kimi Räikkönen or whether it was the Strolls, he did that.
Yep.
He found it. He could taste it. Same
taste
with Lewis Hamilton. He could taste it. He's like, you know what?
Yep. They have compared his taste buds, the taste of COVID, his taste buds compared to the scientific detection.
Oh, the PCR test got nothing on him.
And he is 10% more likely to find COVID
Yep.
than that scientific test.
His nose, which smells and tastes,
And it's a big nose, Luke.
is far more sensitive than any bloodhound you'll find.
Yep. So, yes, it was a tragic race accident, but from bad tragedy comes great, wonderful things like this.
And a big responsibility.
Big responsibility.
Got to keep that paddock clean.
Let's play the jingle.
Geen in de park, geen in de park, het geen in de park with Robert Kubica. Robert Kubica. Hey, hey.
Yeah, love that. Still in the top 10 in Poland.
Oh,
That
it
song.
should be.
It's
Evergreen.
a
It
ripper.
will never go away.
It's so catchy.
Bit like us.
It's a bit like us.
And
So
that
catchy.
rash.
Yeah. Hey, fellas.
Oh, shit.
I'm here. Why? I've been sitting right. I can hear everything you're saying. Hello.
How
Why?
are ya?
Nobody's talking to me. Hello.
How you going?
Hello. Hello.
Why are you knocking?
Hey, you guys are talking. The microphone. I've been sitting here patiently. I'm getting,
well, you
I'm
gotta
getting frustrated. Please.
You gotta let us intro you. We
Oh my
can't
God.
just
Yeah, but then.
just cut straight to you and go, there it is.
Hey, sorry. I thought this was my segment on the podcast. Please tell me.
Canadian Grand Prix winner,
Yes.
Robert Kubica.
Thank you very much, guys.
the man who
Hey.
was the only driver before George Russell and Nicholas Latifi to score a point for Williams.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Luke. Thank you for recognizing
Now hand in the paddock.
my hand in the paddock. I love to drive. I am a very, very good driver, but I'm a even better COVID tester. You know this.
I know.
I am the
and you're a
greatest.
Nuremberg Grand Prix ambassador.
I am the ambassador. Thank you very much. I'm so proud.
Mm.
I am so proud and touched. And all of Poland is right
Mm.
behind me and this podcast. This podcast is very popular in Poland. Number 10 podcast.
Number 10.
Number 10 podcast in
Dropped a bit.
Poland.
That's understandable.
There is some stiff competition in Poland for best podcast. We have so many podcasts about cabbage. So many. We love the
It's a hot topic.
You can have it spicy if you like to have a hot cabbage. Yes, we love cabbage, and we also love to hate Russia.
Where is cabbage on the podcast charts?
Even when you say this, I'm laughing. It's such a comedy.
But cabbage
Yes.
is a very serious crime
Yes.
podcast about cabbage.
Yeah, that's very, very, very different podcast. But cabbage. Oh, so many love slapsticks when you fall over on the cabbage and the cabbage hit you in the face.
What's your favorite cabbage humor?
When you get the cabbage in the balls. I love to see videos of people getting cabbages thrown in their private parts and ouch bang.
Ouch, man.
I love to see. This is great humor in Poland. We love to see people getting kicked or thrown or crunched in the, what do you call these testicles?
Yeah, nutsack.
The nutty sackies? In the nutty sackies.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. I cry.
Is your beautiful cunt kind to your nutty sackies?
My beautiful cunt? Oh, my wife.
Your wife.
Oh, my wife. Thank you so much. You have been so generous with your teaching the English words. You know, now that you have taught me the word cunt and what cunt is meaning,
Yep.
meaning beautiful wife,
Beautiful, smart.
you will never
Intelligent.
guess. It is now part of the Polish vernacular.
Oh, wow.
Polish people call their wives, because I am a bit of a celebrity in Poland. I don't know if you know this. I am Poland's most popular man.
I saw you on your Instagram live calling out to your cunt and then explaining to the Polish fans
Yes.
what cunt actually is.
And now everybody refers to their wife or girlfriend
Or girlfriend.
is a loving term.
Or boyfriend.
Or boyfriend even.
It's not really liked in Poland, but
No, we don't like. We don't tolerate. You mean the what is a? You mean a pufta? the pufta?
homosexual.
Homosexual. There is no such thing in Poland. We
No,
don't have
that's right.
homosexuals.
It's illegal.
No, because Polish people are pure and strong. We don't have. It is impossible to find a Polish person to be a gay boy, a homo, a pufta. There are no puftas in Poland, please.
So, how do you test for COVID again?
And if you call me, I'm pretty sure that I am not gay, but my boyfriend is. I am.
Oh, great.
You're
Kubica
only
humor.
gay if you're taking in the bottom.
Only if you're taking.
Yes, please. Because if you're in jail, look, imagine 50% of Polish people have been in jail, okay? You are a Polish man. Pretend for a moment.
Rite of passage.
Pretend you love cabbage and
Pretend.
you're in the prison. And someone says, hey, I want you to fuck me. That not make you gay. This make you a man in Polish jail.
Man.
Yes, in Polish jail. You're not gay, but the guy who told you to put it in his anus, he is the gay.
is.
He is the
Alright.
gay.
I understand.
And he will rot in hell.
Right, okay.
Or rot in hell.
Okay.
Anyway, you get me upset.
You okay?
I'm okay. But
How's
just
your-
remember this. No gay people in Poland.
You've gone from Mexico, now you're in Brazil.
Yes.
Does the taste change?
I love
There's a lot
putting my
more
fingers in
meats.
people's asses. I love to put my finger in an anus. It does not make me gay.
No, not at all.
I just love to work.
Is it a love like an adoration, or is it a love like a love, like a horn love?
It's a job and a hobby. I'm lucky.
That's all right.
When you find, when some people, they find a job that they also love. It not happen very often, but I have found, I thought I love Formula One racing, driving the car. No, I love to probe people's anus and test for COVID.
And what a great man you do. Thank you very much, Robert Kubica.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry if I got a little bit passionate. I'm sorry if I got passionate, but yes, I get upset sometimes, but that's okay. When you see so many assholes,
You've seen a lot of
I have
assholes
seen a
in
lot
F1.
of. I have seen many assholes, many anus. I have tested every single anus in the paddock. That guy there, I tested him. Him, that one, yes, him. He's got a very tight one.
Gasly.
Gasly, very tight anus. Yep. Anyway, I gotta get back to work, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
I gotta warm my fingers up.
Good luck.
Okay, come on, guys. Come on.
I think that was goodbye and good luck.
I think that was Go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't know. My
I
Polish,
haven't brushed up on my Polish.
my Polish is ordinary.
We're going to go into the tips.
Yes, Luke, the tips after
tipping
Mexico.
competition.
Yep. How am I doing?
You're doing poorly. But Cliff and Jimmy top scored with 15.
Oh, very nice.
Pat and Marcus 14. I dropped a couple of points on 13. Jimmy is in the lead with 247. Then Cliff for 243, Pat 242, and I'm there with 242 as well. Marcus 232, Pete 208, and you are on 196.
Wow. That's pretty good, though. I'm up there, considering I've not entered a single tip.
And you can also not enter a single tip for the whole year and be on the same points as Adam and beat him by a point if you happen to put a tip in.
Just one. All you have to do is put one tip in.
One tip that's
and
the right
you
tip.
will not come last.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Speaking of comes last, how's your mum?
Yeah, she's well. She's very, very well. She asks about you all the time.
she?
Have you rung your mum? She does ask.
I
about-
messaged her the other day.
Good.
I
Good.
messaged her.
Yep.
She's all right.
She's. I need to get my mum to listen and download this podcast. But she's a murder mystery podcast kind of gal.
We could maybe drop a murder mystery in it.
We could do that, couldn't we?
We killed someone. We'll tell you next week.
And then wait for the download to come from
Yep.
an
that's
extra
it.
Well, we've got one extra one.
Hey,
You beauty.
That makes it 8.
That's my mum.
Third championship.
Third championship.
The upside down championship.
Yes.
There's too much glorification of winners. Where's the glorification for the people that are a bit shit?
Who cares about the winners, Luke? What about the tail end of the grid? Who's caring? Who's thinking about those guys at the
The only
back?
person that seems to care about the tail end is Robert Kubica.
Yeah.
But we care about the tail end of Formula One.
We do.
And no one gets more tail end than Nikita Mazepin. He's on negative 286 points. Jesus Christ,
Jeez,
that's right.
he is shit.
He's nearly locked it in. He's nearly won it already.
The Russian rapist.
He's shitter than his teammate Junior Schumacher, who's on negative 237.
Yep.
Latifi, he's on negative 185. Swery Sonoda, 170. And boy, George Russell, 105. The personality, Ricardo, got a couple of points. Added to his third championship for not finishing in the points. He was in 12th position, so he bumps up to 11. The man who is the least shit driver in Formula One, according to the third championship,
Yep. He never lies.
is Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz.
Negative 2.
Well, you can't argue with the system, though, Luke. What you've got is
It's science.
it's a scientific system.
It's more scientific than a vaccine for COVID-19.
That's right, Luke. That's right. We've pitted them against each other, and that is more accurate.
Yep.
Well
2
done.
shots of F1 podcast and you are cured.
Absolutely, you are, Luke. Have we got any F1 news at all? Any news going around that you'd like to disclose around the paddock? Because you have your ear very close to the ground, Luke. You know a lot of people. You don't like to name drop. You don't like to brag.
I
but
do.
You know people in the up and down
I know some things and some stuff.
the grid. What do you know?
Well, I do believe the rumours of Porsche entering Formula One have gathered a bit of speed.
Ooh,
And it looks like they might be coming back. There's a big push towards what kind of energy we'll be using in Formula One, and they look like they want to get on board.
a brand new team, Luke, or are they taking over a team?
I believe it'll be a brand new team.
that we need
Probably
another team.
cheaper to buy off Haas or something.
I think Haas want that, don't they? They want someone to buy them. They seem
Because
like
it's
that.
a $200 million if you want a new entry into Formula One as an added team, and that's a big bill to pay before you start building your fucking car.
It is.
Staffing it, drivers,
Yep.
all the logistical shit that comes with it.
Yep.
It's a lot of money. It's too much money in my eyes. So I don't think I think they'll probably buy a team. I don't know who they'll buy. But there's F1 is growing, and they had a big announcement during the week that the F1, the current, I don't know why they're reporting it now. I don't know why they're getting on board and going, oh, we've got pretty fucking good engines here. We have the current F1 hybrid power unit is the most efficient in the world, delivering more power using less fuel than any other car.
Yes.
So they're delivering at 30% thermal efficiency. What does that mean? I don't know. But in 2025, F1 will unveil a 100% sustainably fueled carbon neutral hybrid engine.
Wow.
And this is where these other manufacturers are wanting to get in on.
Yes.
If they can produce this, maybe they could put it to their road cars or at least make them more efficient.
Well, that is
and
gonna-
also keeps the oil companies happy. The oil probably won't be your typical oil. It'll probably be something that can be farmed,
Yep.
that is sustainable. So there's more to come from this. It's not just going full electric like Formula E, where there would be no sound. Electrification is one path, but we believe multiple technologies will be required to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the transport sector.
Wow.
So that's what they're planning.
There you go.
Still no rumours. We're finding out who's going to get that other seat if Guan Yu Zhou has
Well,
deep pockets.
well, the pizza man, the pizza delivery boy, Antonio Giovinazzi, seems to be indicating from language over the intercom to
A
his
lot of
team.
hand language.
A lot of language that would be negative towards his team, which would also suggest that maybe he's not sticking around.
He can't.
We don't think he's going to be there.
He can't.
He's not going to be there.
You couldn't put him in there.
You wouldn't.
But at least they'll have one season drive with Bottas, and then they'll bring, I'm guessing, Guan Yu Zhou into the back of that one.
Yeah, the $20 million Chinese 50-year-old sitting in F2, buggering around, just wasting everyone's time. Maybe coming second this year on his 50th attempt. But
Could he be the new Me Too Mazepin of wasting everyone's time?
I think so,
Could
Luke.
he get the Your Shit award?
It looks like we're going to have to do more next year because the grid is full of billionaire sons who can't drive and people who are there because they're a nationality that F1 wants to promote the sport in that country. And
And they got a fuck ton of money.
ton of fucking money, and you're missing out on the best prime talent in Formula
I'll
One.
tell you what, if you want a return of investment, which is what a lot of people want,
Yes. Put the 20 best drivers in the world up against each other.
don't put your money in some slow dry leg. Oh,
Get this
are we going to get a
There's
round of
mozzie.
applause?
Got him.
Did you get it?
Got
Good,
him.
well done.
Got
On
him,
the
Mozzie.
pinky finger.
Sorry, mosquito.
Just caught him with your
You
chopsticks.
can't podcast and watch a mosquito fly past your
You
head. at the
can't. I
same
saw
time.
him and I'm like, I might get him if he comes back, but
No.
he was hovering around you.
Sorry about that. I got
No,
you.
no. Please. Now that's the murder mystery
Yep.
that you came here for. You just murdered. Now let's get the chalk outline for that
There it
mosquito.
is. Hopefully my mum will find that entertaining enough that she might
will.
want to download the next podcast.
Did you want some?
I want to still rant about the fucking drivers, Luke. Is this going to be in Luke's rant? This whole the disparity
This
between...
is Adam's rant.
Oh, it just bugs the shit out of me.
So who would you get rid of in Formula One, and who would you bring in their place?
Oh, Luke. Half the grid I would chuck
Half
out.
the grid?
Half the grid, Luke, is gone.
All right,
You're wasting space.
I'm going to run through the grid, and you're going to tell me in or out.
Okay.
Simple?
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
Max Verstappen.
And this is based purely on skill.
No, it's purely based on your opinion.
Yes, which is based on skill and also I should also mention if I like them or not.
Yes. So Max Verstappen.
Hate him, but he's in because he's a good driver. And it's entertaining. We want the 20 best drivers in the world to drive against each other.
Lewis
Next.
Hamilton.
In because he's a good driver.
Valtteri Bottas.
Gone. Absolutely wasted. He's seat warming, Luke. He's taking up the seat of a Piastri in Formula 2.
Sergio Perez.
He can stick around. I like him. He's fun.
Lando Norris.
Yep, he's good. He's good value. Good
Charles
driver.
Leclerc.
Yep, he's fine. No problem.
Sainz.
Okay, no probs.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Staying. He's a lock. He's a lock.
Stunning. Pierre Gasman Gasly.
Very fast. Keep him.
Fernando Alonso.
Yep, entertaining. You want a Formula World champion, and he's bloody fast.
He is.
Who else, Luke?
Esteban Ocon.
Oh, he's line ball for me. What
Ooh,
is
I
he
heard
for
crickets
you?
there. I heard
He's
crickets.
line ball for
He
me.
did win a race this year.
Yes, but that was circumstances that anyone in that situation would have won. Keep him, just for entertainment.
Oof. Sebastian Vettel.
Keep him for entertainment value.
Lance Stroll.
Absolutely gone. Flick to the curb. A billionaire boy son gone.
Right.
Not there on merit.
Who would you replace Bottas with?
I'd put him anyone from F2. Piastri.
What about Guan Yu Zhou?
No, not him. No, not him. No, Piastri. Oh, there's been Formula 2 winners who haven't made to Formula 1. Mm-hmm. De Vries? I'm trying to think. It's just
Yeah, Nick De Vries.
De Vries.
Yeah.
He should have been in Formula 1. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Would you
next.
bring Stoffel Van Dorn back?
Why not? Why not? He's a winner of F2.
So Lance Stroll out. Yuki Tsunoda.
Gone.
George Russell.
Keep. Absolutely keep. Talent.
Kimi Räikkönen's gone anyway.
Gone.
Nicholas Latifi.
Gone. Billionaire boy. Fuck off.
Antonio Giovinazzi.
Fuck off.
Mick Schumacher.
Keep him. That's a name. That's a
And-
name you can trust.
I could have made a very bad joke. Nikita Mazepin.
Absolutely the first one to go. Absolutely. Sorry, you don't get to spend 3 years in F2 dicking around with a billionaire daddy, then have your dad buy a Formula One team for you to come fifth in F2 and then make the step up to
I wonder
Formula
how
One
much money?
when he has jumped 4 guys that didn't make it to Formula One.
I wonder how much money.
Who are the guys that he jumped over that were faster than him in F2 to make it to Formula One? And who are those guys that missed out? I can't remember.
We don't know them anymore.
I don't
because
remember.
They're not around anymore.
But they should have been in Formula One.
Yeah. I agree. Like Jack Aiken, he would have been one of them.
Jack Aitken.
He drove a race last year.
I mean, you just have to go through the record books, go through the F2 championship for the last 3-4 years. Where did Lance Stroll finish? Where was his highest finish in F2? Not very high. It wasn't top 3.
He didn't get it. He was in GP3.
There, we didn't even get there.
Didn't even get to Formula 2.
Didn't even get there. I'm just saying, it just rubs me the wrong way.
I like you just ditching like, no.
Nah.
And a lot of your assessments, I think, is pretty spot on.
Thank you, Luke. We very rarely agree on anything, you and I, but this we do.
Yeah.
Get rid of the fucking billionaires.
Brings an injection of fresh talent.
Do you think it'll get to a stage where...
And I'm very happy that Alonso came back.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
Oh.
at the start of the year were like, oh, no, let's give it to someone young. We've got a lot of young guys that came in, and they're not that great. So,
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if more manufacturers join, there's less chance that they're going to need the cash from billionaires to put their sons in. And hopefully, we'll get just the best drivers in Formula One going head to head.
that'd be nice.
Hopefully, that's the future of F1.
All next year is to play for. Everyone's starting with a blank sheet of paper. It'll be very interesting. Someone could dominate it like Mercedes did, or they could dominate it like Brawn did off that regulation change.
Is
You
there-
never know.
I mean, you're close. You've got your ear to the ground in the paddock. When's the first time we'll get an inkling, an indication of who's got it right? The new regs.
Come testing.
That's it.
It's the only time we can do it.
Not before that. You just don't know.
No, because no one's unveiled a car. No one's showing, what they're doing. They're all keeping their cards close to the chest.
You can't.
There's a lot of teams that are just good at what they do.
Can't you get into the bleachers at the Red Bull Ring, Luke? You know people at the Red Bull Ring. Can't you sit up there and just have your binoculi and you're sitting the very top tier? You're hidden away behind a tree, checking out the
My
Red Bull,
camo gear.
and your stopwatch.
Yeah.
And you're just reporting into F1 podcast. Well, this
can.
Red Bull looks pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, it looks like a Red Bull.
Going round and round.
Yeah. No,
But you got nothing to compare it against.
that's right.
That's the thing. You might go, oh, that's a fast time.
We're going to wait till
Compared
next
to
year.
what?
And we won't really know until, first qualifying who is the quickest. I think everyone will have an idea of corner speeds, etc., to see how much weight they're carrying in pre-season testing. But who knows? Haas could build a fucking bullet. You wouldn't know.
It promises to be possibly the single most intriguing, nervous, exciting moment in Formula One.
But it also comes off a season that has been all of those things
Yeah.
because they've allowed time to everyone to adapt to these rules and regulations.
Yes.
And, Red Bull are taking the fight to a very, very dominant Mercedes, and Red Bull are ahead in terms of the Drivers' Championship.
And every year, every other team's got that much closer.
That's right.
McLaren are now firing. Ferrari's got a new engine upgrade. All these other teams, the back of the grid's getting closer, and now we're changing the whole deal again for it to be potentially really one-sided.
Could be a one-sided affair. Could be 5, 6 constructors up there. I hope it's that way.
Oh, you'd love to see a backmarker just bloody nail it with the arrow by mistake. We go, Husks, they've got no idea what they did, but Huss is like, oh, wow,
Yeah,
we're the best car. That'd be amazing.
that would be great.
Mid-Cell, what a podcast this is. Like, what? Oh,
I mean, in terms of words per minute,
fuck.
we're up there.
We're right up there. There's a lot of unnecessary wordage.
Oh, silly words, stupid words.
Yeah, I feel I'm mostly responsible. I apologise.
Favourite word of the podcast so far? Cunt.
Wordage.
Wordage, also up there.
And cabbage, I think, was quite highly...
Chunder.
Chunder? Oh, bringing back the word chunder, Luke. So many... This podcast, we've got to call it like...
Brought to you by Chunder.
Chunder. Chunder in Brazil.
The Chunder Down Under.
The chunder down under.
That's when you have a very spewy vagina. The Chunder from Down Under. Hey, we could be going on a holiday soon by this
God.
way.
How's that puke-free guarantee happening? Oh, jeez.
Some people start to gag when they hear that.
Gag reflex. Yes. Whew. Still to come, Toto Wolff. Dan Ricciardo. Dan Ricciardo on this podcast,
And
Luke.
Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel. Have you got any updates for the new proposed Formula One race for 2022 that everyone except Formula One are talking about?
The Singapore/Nerang Grand
The
Prix.
Nerang Grand Prix, Luke.
Now, we've had a lot of feedback from last weekend's suggestion of a...
We had some great... You had a ripper. What was it? The...
It was a cerebral palsy and wheelchair relay.
relay before the big race.
Yeah,
You get the cerebral palsy folk
yeah.
running up a hill and then jumping in a
No,
wheelchair.
not jumping, pushing
Pushing a
off
wheelchair.
someone else in a wheelchair, and then they run up the hill next to the nude section,
Yep.
and then they push their teammate down the hill. Just they can push them up to a line, they can't touch them after that, and then it's down to these are traditional wheelchairs. They're not these fancy racing ones that Alex Zanardi would be powering around
No.
the streets of Rome. This is just an ordinary wheelchair with dicky fucking wheels, and they have to steer it and get down in one piece.
Much like a shopping trolley. Like there's one wheel that doesn't quite work right. It kind
That's
of
right.
keeps flicking around and it makes you skew off into one direction.
Yeah.
Do we know if the cerebral palsy volunteers will be nude? Is that...
I mean,
Can we? But well, you did mention they're going past the nude section of the race where it's mandatory for you to be nude. Wouldn't it be a nice element if the cerebral palsy volunteers were also nude?
listen, it's clothing optional for the competitors. If cerebral palsy and people in wheelchairs want to nude up,
Yep.
feel free to nude up. This is a national broadcast. We're not going to pixelate your parts.
No.
We're going to let you run tackle out or tits out, whatever you want to do.
It's Nerang after all. Anything goes.
Oh,
There are no I mean, there's nothing that is not acceptable in Nerang.
no.
You can literally do anything.
The only thing you're probably going to have to wear is shoes.
You have to wear shoes if you get into the Nerang RSL club. You must wear shoes.
Yeah, that's their only rule.
Closed shoes, because no one wants to see your toes.
And they'll be dragging their feet up the hill anyway, so
That's
you got to make
right.
sure that they're not, hurting
That's
their toes
right.
and stuff. So.
I don't mind seeing someone's private bits. But I don't want to see their toes.
It's humorous when you see a
Oh,
dick and balls bouncing around ridiculously, and when you've seen a girl run naked and topless,
absolutely.
it's just funny.
The older the better when they're flapping about.
You don't get turned on by that, just
No
like
one
you
gets
won't get turned on by anyone in the nude section in Nerang.
That's right, Luke. No.
You can't.
You can't.
It's impossible.
You can't.
There's something in the water.
Was that an update? Was there...
That's the update.
Yep, I love that.
Yep.
That's great.
Clothing optional.
Thank you
for
so
our
much.
cerebral palsy and wheelchair participants.
Yep. Wow. What a wonderful update. What a great GP.
And then those, they'll be doing autographs and everything after that.
in the nude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow. Can't wait. I just hope.
And the podium will have a ramp.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you've got to make it friendly for, people with...
But there's stairs to get to that ramp. So we've got a sling that hooks up to the wheelchair and it just incredibly slowly. Brings them up to the podium. Like it could take a good 45 minutes.
It's like the Westpac rescue helicopter, just slowly bringing them up and
Just takes forever.
clumsily like
Just
banging them on
bangs on sponsorship boarding.
the way up.
Yeah. But it's just we've allowed
Yes.
at least an hour for the ceremony, just to get the wheelchairs up. We couldn't afford expensive cranes. We don't have the
No.
money for that kind of thing.
Well, we put the ramp in. We put the ramp in to get to that point where you then get.
Yeah,
Lift it up.
you got to get to that.
So
point
that ramp wasn't
before-
cheap.
No,
That was a good ramp.
that's good plywood.
Yeah, that gets you a good meter up. From,
It's not waterproof though, so if it rains,
Yeah.
and once they spray champagne, it's basically shit.
Oh yeah, turns to shit.
But we've got the crane there,
Yeah.
the very very slow, comedic crane.
Mm.
That's all from the ring.
Oh, wonderful update. Thank you so much, Luke, for that. The Narang GP, can't wait for that. I think it's probably time we should look at the Brazilian GP.
Not yet. Are we going to talk to Sebastian, or do you want me to go on my rant?
Ooh, you choose. I'm happy with either. I love I love a rant. Let's have a rant because it relates to
Rant,
Mexico.
then Sebastian.
Absolutely.
Okay, so honourable mentions.
We need to intro. Do we have a musical intro?
We don't.
We need to find some.
I
kind
can
of,
bring back the your shit ah.
I kind of feel like that's for a different segment. That's all right. We'll think of a catchy a jingle, a tune, a catchy jingle for the rant.
Luke's rant.
Luke's rant. All right.
So first up,
Unleash.
honourable mentions.
Yeah.
So the good things that happen in Formula One. The old hand Vettel, Raikkonen and Alonso for getting up into the points. They fought hard. They fought clean. They did a great job. Norris from the back to 10th. Good job, Lando. Alpine. Now, week before, you were in my rants. You were in my dishonourable mentions because you couldn't build a car that lasted a fucking Grand Prix. But what did you do this week? You built a car that not only finished the race, but Esteban Ocon was able to take on two cars at once that hit him at the same time, flipped them both and fucked them out of the Grand Prix, and the car was fine.
Yeah.
Alpine, building stronger cars. Good job.
Well done.
Gasman Gasly. Kid did good. He deserves a better opportunity in my eyes.
Oh, he's good. He's so good.
Ferrari, taking decent chunks, and now lead McLaren in third in the championship. They're doing well as a team. They're very unified.
Very unified.
They like each other.
They do.
Latifi in honourable mentions. Now, not for Mexico, but for out-qualifying Russell in Brazil. I know we're about to talk about Brazil,
Yep.
but Brazil's already part happened.
Yeah.
We've got the sprint race on this weekend. And he got his elbows out in Mexico as well. All good for it. Out-qualifying Russell, a standing ovation. Well done, Latifi. Out-qualifying George Russell.
Brilliant.
Now, I have to clear my throat.
Do it.
Dishonourable mentions. The people who bring dishonour to Formula One.
Yep.
Bottas.
Fucking boring Bottas.
That bare ass back door left it open for the Belgian buggerer. You may think he's Dutch, but he's from Belgium.
Yeah.
He just left that door wide open so Max the fucking Verstappen could go past down into turn 1. He didn't care. He didn't fight.
No.
He just watched him as he went past and went, see ya, bye. And you know what? You deserve to get spun by Daniel Ricciardo.
Yes.
You brought it on yourself.
Yep.
It's your own fucking fault. Next. Haas. They still haven't scored a point. Could a Magnussen or Grosjean be the man to score points? I doubt it. The car's shitter than ever. Whoever designed this should retire his, her, they, their, Zimze, Zer, Etch-a-Sketch. The only thing they got right, that it has 4 wheels. Haas. Shit. Haas shit.
Rubbish.
Haas shit. Could be Haas holes or Haas shit. Oh, Haas shit comes from Haas holes. Daniel Ricciardo. It hurts me to say this,
Not his fault.
but Daniel, A man who sent a letter but forgot to lick that stamp. His race pretty much over in one corner. After the safety car restart, he managed to jump back ahead of Bottas when Stroll decided to take to the grass and drive his own racetrack. Then he proceeds to be the ultimate thorn in the bare ass of Bottas. And the Black Knight from Monty Python and Dale Earnhardt. None shall pass. Daniel, you're better than this. He didn't get a penalty. I thought he would. After what happened, I'm like, he'll probably get a penalty for that. But he didn't.
No.
And the reason being is they say that Bottas, the way he took the corner, he was trying to do a switchback. At the start, you can't do a switchback with 17 cars behind you.
No, not Dan's fault. Not Dan's
So
fault.
that's why
Yeah.
the way that Bottas attacked that corner with a later apex and trying to go around for what would have been turn 2, that driving line isn't your normal standard driving line. No. So that's why Daniel didn't get a
penalty.
Penalty.
It's never his fault, Luke. Nothing he can do will make him guilty.
But he should know better.
No penalty.
Stick your nose in
penalty,
there.
no crime.
No penalty. He lost his front wing, then he went to the back. Yeah, there's a penalty there.
Yeah.
Keep your nose clean, Daniel. Stroll. Dishonourable mentions.
Fucking waste of space.
And this is what I wrote. Stroll, fuck off.
Fuck off, Stroll. Just fuck off to that little
Just
billionaire
You've
corner
got
of
enough
the globe
money.
come from.
You could do whatever you want in the world. Just
Just
stop
leave us
wasting our
alone.
time.
Stop wasting this sport. Don't waste our time.
Stop wasting your dad's money. Don't
wanna
you
see-
feel guilty about it?
We want to see talented kids
What if
driving around.
Mazepin goes, my dad spent X amount of millions of dollars on me and I haven't paid him back?
You know,
Will he get a big IOU at the end of his career?
I wonder. It would be okay to have them in the sport if they at least put their hand up and said, I'm here because Dad bought me a team.
Yeah. Just say that.
I would totally be fine.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
you
well,
know
that's
what? You're right.
At least he acknowledges it.
Yeah.
But to pretend that they deserve to be there, I'm sorry.
Yep. Finally. Mercedes.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, you had the opportunity to sign Russell for this year. Now, think about it. A mighty driver that not only could possibly beat Hamilton, but he would come damn close week in and week out.
Be a better number 2, wouldn't he?
A better number 2, someone who can keep a gap to a driver behind or lead from the front.
Would he leave a little gap on the inside
Fuck no.
for Verstappen?
No. That's what made me think. Russell wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't. He'd be like, no, you're behind me, son.
And it'd be his first year. He'd still be happy to take team orders. Mm-hmm. You know,
Happy to learn, happy to find his place.
it would be a 1-2.
He'd be
or
winning some races.
He'd be up there all the time.
He would be gapping Verstappen. He would be,
Correct.
or he'd be in front of Lewis, and Lewis would have to do his fighting.
Verstappen
But
would
there'd
either
be
have
a way.
he'd have his hands full, Verstappen.
He'd be a proper wingman.
His mirrors full.
Yeah. There'd be more 1-2s than just fucking McLaren this year. But you didn't. You signed Bottas, and because you signed Bottas, you get the door left wide open because he's asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
He's bunking off. The perfect driver to keep Red Bulls behind and take points off Red Bull Racing and Max Verstappen. You had that chance. And you thought, no, he needs another year at Williams.
What a
Mercedes.
Mercedes. What
You
are
dropped
you
the
doing?
ball.
And it's going to cost him.
It will.
It's costing him.
It's going to cost them. It could cost them both championships because
Correct.
they decided to stay with Bottas.
Yep.
They could have went with boy George Russell.
Boy George Wonder. The Boy George Wonder.
Okay. I like that.
I'm going to call him Boy George Wonder.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I like it. And that is why we love Luke's rant. It's freeing to get it off your chest. Say what
And
needs
Mexico,
to be
you
said.
are fucking boring.
Exactly. And that is what this sport needs. More honesty. More straight out honesty and from the heart. And that's what you are, Luke. A big ball of heart.
So speaking of honesty, we've got a man to check in on.
Oh, yes, we do.
He's German. He's a 4-time world champion.
He is indeed.
No guess as to what his name is. I'm going to end the intro like that and just say...
Hey guys! Hey guys!
Hello, it's me, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion, whatever.
Sebastian Vettel, everyone.
Hi, what's going on, guys? Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the podcast.
Das is uber groovy. Hi, look, what's going on?
How you going?
I'm great. I've just been very busy in the car, just looking at finding, just, doing the details and shit, just looking at the cars.
Early Saturday morning for you. Excited for the sprint race?
I love it, baby. I love it. Yeah, sure. I'm just feeling the groove. I think this is going to be the time for Sebastian to be really, and to be honest with you, to be completely 100% honest with you.
Please be honest.
Look at me. Look me in the eyes. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, God. Next year, just a little thing here. Watch out for us.
Oh.
Okay? We've got some stuff going on. I think don't be surprised if you see Sebastian Vettel at the top of the timesheet.
Really?
Really. I know it's early days and stuff, but we are super uber confident over
You
here.
can always be like the first one out of the gate. Come first practice.
Yeah.
Put in the first lap and there,
we are,
bang.
we
top
are
of the
leaving
timesheet.
nothing in the closet. I do not belong in the closet.
Have you
Luke.
checked out the closet?
I've never been in the closet.
Have you been
Luke.
in there?
I am a proud heterosexual man. You know this.
How is the wife?
She is Harry. Heidi. She is Heidi. Sorry. Sorry, Heidi. She never listens to the podcast. What's this podcast called again? I don't even fucking care. I do this because my manager tells me I have to do this. Heidi, she tells me. She twists my arm and fuck, it hurts. Jeez, she's so strong. My kids are great. They say hi, by the way. They love you.
What are those kids' names?
Oh, little Shumi, we got little Ricardo, little Alonso.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're great. They're just super. Just an uber great, and I just love to play with them.
Now, you've
Love
been
them.
picking up a lot of rubbish
A
lately.
lot of rubbish
You
downstairs.
care about the world.
Yeah, doing some manscaping. Oh, you mean?
Look at litter.
Oh, I thought you meant my Google sack.
No.
I thought you meant my undercarriage.
You seem to have a very tight package down there. I don't
Have you
think
seen my
anything-
pack? Have
I
you
don't think you
seen?
need to pick anything up.
Have you seen my anus?
Not lately.
It's like the cleanest little thing you've ever seen. It's just great. I love it. Yeah, I have the mirrors in the bathroom set up, so if I'm standing straight ahead, you can see my undercarriage. It's a reflection, goes down and up,
That's good.
down and up.
It's important.
You need to see. You need to make sure that the anus is just as important as the face. You need to always make sure. Upstairs, downstairs, clean, crisp.
That's producer Pete's motto as well.
Clean and crisp. I love producer Pete. Oh, he's a little bit short for me. And I like him a little.
You two will get along
I like
really
him
well.
Yeah, he's not hairy enough. I don't like it. It's just like, oh my God.
So you don't like to be hairy, but you like your friends.
My buddies, my workout guys, my friend buddy, my massage guy. These are the guys.
Have you ever worked out with Toto Wolff?
No, but geez, he scares me.
Did he ever
Fuck.
ask you to spot for him? Or?
No, I think he thinks that I'm gay. I mean, I'm like, me, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion. Oh my God. Whatever. LOL, smiley face. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go and do some Gary. I've got to go and do some
To the garage?
Get gardening. Go to the garage.
Yes.
Got to go down on Gary. Garage.
Good luck.
Go down to the garage. I gotta
With
go down
Gary.
with Gary. Oh Jesus! See you, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Sebastian Vettel.
Jesus. He was really aching for Gary.
Yep, he loves Gary. The garage. He loves it. He absolutely loves it, doesn't he?
Sounds like he wasn't pestering Robert at least.
Yeah, that's true. What are the times like?
Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil.
Brazil Grand Prix.
When can we watch that? What time is it here?
For here, for the
3? Is it 3 in the morning?
3 in the morning, Monday
God
morning,
damn it.
is the race. The sprint race will be on at
That's
half past 5 in the morning
That's good. Don't mind that.
for us.
I'm up with the kids. It's fine.
So Brazil, it's actually called the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. The tourism board has bought the naming rights to call it the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. The circuit length is 4.309 kilometers, 71 laps of the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace or Pace. I don't know how they would pronounce it.
I don't know.
There's so many different ways. First Grand Prix 1973, a race distance of 305.909 kilometers. Lap record Valtteri Bottas in 2018 with 1 minute 10 0.540. The tyres they're taking there are the C2, C3 and C4, the three compounds in the middle of the Pirelli 5. Weather, Friday had some overcast. There was some moisture about, but it didn't really eventuate on the track for practice and sprint quali. Saturday, Sunday looked to be fine. Last time they were there in 2019, it was Verstappen, Gasly, Sainz on the podium.
Yep.
Pole was Max Verstappen with a 107.508.
Yes.
Funnily enough, in Q2, he did a 107.503, so it was actually quicker in Q2 than Q3.
Oh, there you go.
Last time they were there. But Hamilton's pole time this year for the sprint qualifying race is a 1 minute 7.934. So a little bit slower, 4 and a bit tenths slower. But since they took off so much downforce towards the rear of the car, I can understand why. Race times?
Race times?
Yes. New Zealand, 6 a.m. Queensland, 3 a.m. New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, 4 a.m. Western Australia, 1 a.m. Ho Chi Minh, you're at Ho Chi midnight. Kathmandu, 11:15 p.m. Finland, 7 p.m. Stockholm, 6 p.m. London, Lisbon, Timbuktu, 5 p.m. New York, midday. Chicago, 11 a.m. And West Coast United States, 9 a.m.
They're the times for the Brazil GP. A bit of altitude, was it just under 800 metres or something like that?
Yeah, not as high as Mexico.
Was it 2,500 metres above sea level?
That's quite high.
That's pretty high. So Mercedes will be back into it, have a better chance, because I know that they don't particularly like the high altitude.
Well, they brought in a new engine for Lewis, which is he'll have a grid penalty which he'll serve on Sunday in the sprint qualifying race, which is a 100-kilometre race, goes for half an hour. Lewis will start on pole position for that one. And then we'll see where he ends up. 3, 2, 1 points on order for the first three finishes of that sprint race. And then the real points happen on Sunday. But so if Lewis finishes first, he gets 3 points. And then he'll start probably in 6th if he finishes first.
Geez, it's important for the World Championship that Lewis, if he's starting from 6th and Verstappen's starting off pole, he needs to pull a rabbit out of the bag. Otherwise, this World Championship is going to be over real fast.
Well, he'll need someone to do a bit of a Romain Grosjean.
Maybe Bottas actually drive
Well,
for his team.
Bottas did what he did in Hungary. That was lovely.
That was nice.
He did a very good job there.
Yep.
So he could do that again. It's a testy turn 1, 2. Easy to get caught up. There's always a melee going down into there to turn 1. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Interesting. Great country. Great city. If you love your COVID, go to Brazil. Oh, they love it. It's riddled. You'd have to be careful, wouldn't you, being a Formula One driver, even part of the team. You wouldn't go out anywhere. I reckon you're getting.
There's been a fair few incidents over the years in regards to muggings and having guns pointed at you in a car. It generally it always comes out every year. I haven't heard any of this year, but I've been quite quiet on Twitter, and that's where I get most of my news and information in regards to what's happening on the ground.
You think each team would be bringing over their own army of chefs and just not going outside, locking the windows?
Yeah, you'd think they would just stay on track or build something or have some kind of place, but there's a lot of people in Formula One, and so it's probably not feasible to be able to have that much accommodation there.
No.
Especially when there's some prima donnas who need certain things and requirements.
Speaking of which, Toto Wolff's on the line, Luke.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Dan Ricciardo's on this podcast.
Coming up just after Toto.
Yep. Dan Ricciardo coming up straight after Toto Wolff. Gosh, got big names on this podcast, Luke. How do we do it? I don't bloody know, mate, but we do. Bloody amazing. Let's get into Toto Wolff, shall we? Got some big questions for him because he can't be happy about last week with that first corner incident and Bottas and Jesus. Let's find out. Toto, can you hear us, Toto? Come in, Toto.
Yes, this is Toto.
Oh, good. We got you on the right line. Sorry, I thought I pushed number 2. There we go. That's the right number.
You pushed out to number 2.
Oh, shit. Does that mean I just hung up on Dan?
No, I think it means you took a shit, pushed out the number 2.
Oh, maybe not.
Listen, what are you talking about?
Yeah, sorry, Toto. I shouldn't be thinking about Dan, but I might have just hung up on Dan. Not to worry, we got you here. Toto, great to have you on the podcast, F1 Pod. Thanks for joining. Tell us about last week. I know it wasn't the result that you were looking for. Bottas and Hamilton, 1 and 2, and at the end of the first corner, the Dutchman is leading, and it's all over. What happened?
You know what? Like what will happen to Valtteri at the end of the year, the door will be left wide open.
Yep.
And he can fuck off.
Are you having regrets about Bottas? I mean, publicly, obviously, you're saying all the right things.
Listen, I don't have regrets. My concern, and it's probably all on Bottas for not picking up his game and being a better driver. I'm tired of making excuses for him. He left the door wide open, and of course, Max is going to go there and take the position from him. It's been unfortunate. We've had many discussions. We all had the chance. So basically, Valtteri got on all fours, and we all had wiffle bats, and we actually beat the shit out of him for 45 minutes after race. That was kind of like our debrief, de-stressing. And if you ever get the chance to see his ass in the next Netflix session, you will see that we beat the fucking shit out of him.
Wow. But I guess if you beat something that's void of any life or personality, does it learn? Does it matter?
It doesn't learn, but fuck, it feels good to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing like beating someone up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my Austrian blood, but
Yeah.
we just really love, taking our aggression out on something. And Valtteri took it quite well.
Yep.
As you said, he was void of all. He didn't cry.
Nothing.
He didn't bleed.
Just a bag of wheat.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty much like a punching bag from
Punching bag.
Finland.
Yeah.
But God, it felt good for me.
Yeah, I bet it did. Wow. Okay, so looking at Brazil, Toto, it's concerning. Yes, it's great that you've qualified first in the sprint race, but you're taking an engine penalty.
Yes,
What-
we've done the statistics, we've run the analysis, and what we think is with the engine penalties, even with the increased performance that we get from these new engines, we will make up more points from using them than not.
Okay, so you're confident that you can...
We've crunched the numbers.
Yep, crunched them. You can still be in the World Championship after Brazil, even if you don't win?
Of course.
Okay.
We will, not only will we have the fresh engine and run at altitude and all of those things, we will win this race.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Wow. Big call.
You will watch Lewis Hamilton win on Sunday. I'm not just saying the sprint race as well.
Wow.
He will win the feature race on Sunday.
Jesus.
This is my Toto lock. Toto Wolff lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Thank you on that note. Thank you very much. Toto, I guess you've got your Lycra on. Are you hitting the gym now? Is that what's happening?
I've just come from the gym.
You've come from the gym. How is he?
Who is he?
Isn't the guy that helps you do the lift?
Herdiger.
Yep. Back.
Yeah, he is my personal trainer, Herdiger.
Herdiger. Sorry. Thought it was
He
Jim.
is also he's writes on my COVID safe protocols and procedures.
Yes.
And he's I'm COVID free. I haven't had it. And as far as I'm concerned, so far, zero COVID for me. So I'll continue to do the same kind of, procedures when it comes to working out in public and having his scrotum covering and protecting my face.
Yeah. Creature of habit. Yeah.
Well, it's not just, it's proven.
Yep.
You find any other, like you look at Lewis.
Yeah.
He doesn't train with a scrotum over his face. He got COVID.
That's true.
Sergio Perez got COVID. He doesn't train, as far as I'm aware.
No.
When I've seen him at a hotel that we are both sharing, he doesn't have a trainer squatting over him, and he got COVID.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways that you could get COVID, but so far tried and tested.
Yeah.
If you need some kind of coverage, if you're at the gym, get the scrotum cover.
It's good advice. That sounds scientific. It sounds scientific. And you're not a doctor, Toto, but
Listen, everything in Mercedes-AMG is scientific.
it's very...
And I've taken that with my personal life.
Yep.
And I get my personal trainer to make sure that I'm COVID-free and no particles are going to enter my mouth because his scrotum's in the way.
Yeah. Is it something about the... Is it something... About,
I think I got one of his hairs.
oh, you got a little
my
hair
throat.
on the back of your throat, Toto. Oof. Ouch. But I mean,
It's out now. It's okay.
It's worth it.
Well, to be safe, of course.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be safe at these times. It's a crazy time, and
Yeah.
the world is slowly getting back to normal. And speaking of normal, we will win this weekend.
Fantastic. I hope you do. Thank you so much, Toto Wolff, for joining us on F1 Podcast.
Thank you, and shut the fuck up.
Okay, got it. Wow. How about that guy? Straight to the point.
Oh, no messing about.
Yeah, no messing about. And not a conspiracy theorist, just knows the value of a good bull bag to the face when you're working out.
You know what? I've tried it.
Have you really?
I have.
The Toto Wolff workout bull bag to the face.
Yep.
Who was lowering the nutsack on your face? On
Well,
your...
one of my personal trainers at the gym.
Yep.
I didn't ask him to.
No.
He did it,
Just-
and I felt safer.
How did it happen to just like slowly see the bull bag lowered?
No, so a lot of the time, like I try and tune out the pain, so I kind of close my eyes. and
Yeah.
then
Wake up. And...
I slowly opened my eyes and saw. He's a big bloke. He's
Yeah.
a big Maori bloke.
Oh, he's a Maori bloke. Yeah.
And he's.
The smell.
I could smell
the
it before
bull
I
bag.
opened my eyes.
Yes.
And then very vinegary,
There.
stank of swamp ass.
Maybe that's what it is that deflects the COVID. Is it the vinegar smell of a ball?
Could be.
A pair of nutsack.
But he takes very good care of his undercarriage.
Sure he does.
And I didn't feel out of place. I just kind of opened my eyes and I feel COVID safe right now.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, so that it seemed to work so far, COVID free. I haven't had any
go.
symptoms or any issues.
Yeah, I mean, you're the first to suggest that. Like, if Toto swears by it, a lot of people swear by it.
I mean, when you see a trend happening, you're
Yep.
going to try it.
Yep. And if you say that enough on Instagram and Facebook and the socials, people will do that.
Oh, no
It's
doubt.
it's a
There's
thing.
a lot of gullible lambs and sheep out there.
are, but this is the one scientific thing that people are maybe not doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
There's 2 humans in the world that have this scrotal protection.
Yep,
Toto Wolff and myself.
yep.
Both of us,
Swear by it.
COVID free.
COVID free.
What's that say?
What does it say? It's science. On that note, thank you, Mrs. Luke, for this beautiful spread.
Oh, thank you, Mum.
What is going on here? We've got some Brazilian... Is that like churrasco? You know, they do the meat on the stick, the barbecue churrasco?
We have the Virado a Paulista.
Oh, Verado Paulista.
Yeah, made with rice. Virado del Freio, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
similar to a tutu.
Oh,
Not the thing you wear.
no.
Sauteed kale.
Very
No,
nice.
I'm not a huge fan of sauteed kale.
No.
Fried plantains. Nice.
Yeah, no, they're nice.
And
they're nice.
and some pork chops.
Oh, I can
that's,
see
That's what the
That's what that is there.
Paulista is.
That's the Paulista pork chop.
Yeah.
Bloody, they love their meat, don't they, in Brazil? Fuck.
Home of the pastel, Sao Paulo, consisting of thin pastry envelopes wrapped around assorted of fillings and deep fried in vegetable oil. Nothing. You can't go wrong with veggies.
Deep
pastry,
fried.
Deep fried.
Oh, bloody hell.
Gets you
bloody-
hard. Pão de queijo.
The quayo.
Could be saying these completely wrong. And they're like baked cheese puffs.
I was going to say cheese, quayo.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go, mate. That's
Um,
delish.
and she's made a couple of hot dogs as well.
Oh, good. Just to mix it up.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, well, she knows that you've got a sensitive tum-tum. That you can't always have the spicy stuff. You've got to mix it up a little bit. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow, what a... Thank you, Mrs. Luke.
Thanks, Mum.
What a woman. She never ceases to amaze us.
No.
With her culinary skills. Well
She
done.
cooks on the wheelie walker now. She's got like a movable stove
Has she
on
really?
the top of the wheelie walker.
Oh,
She does good.
that's amazing. So she's doing like a lap of the suburb and cooking up a storm
Got
as
a
she
little
goes.
power storage she puts in the pouch underneath, and then she hooks it up as she walks around.
Wow,
Deep fries up those pastels.
those pastels and the quayos. We need to get your mum back on this podcast.
We do.
Wow.
Just call her up.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Next week?
Enjoy.
All right. Thank you, mate.
Brazil.
Oh, love it. Don't get COVID.
Oh, I won't.
Bull bag it. Always bull bag.